Hello students, today we will discuss about Othello's explanation. Explanation is segregation of the Turkish fleet for to what stand upon the foaming shore. The children below seems to pelt the clouds, the wind shake the surge with high and monstrous mane seems to cast water on the winding weir and quench the guards of our fixed bowl. I never did like molestation's view on the enchafed flood. ये एक्ट सेकंड सीन्स फर्स्ट से ली गई हैं एक्सप्लेनेशंस. These lines are spoken by the spoken of act second scene first by the second gentleman in act first second scene first. There has been a terrible storm both at land as well as on the sea. This storm has caused a dispersal of Turkish fleet. Giving a detailed account of this storm, he says that if anyone just stands on the seashore, he can see that the waves of the ocean are violently striking against the seashore, and as a result of the shore seems to be foaming. It appears as if the waves have been scalded by the angry winds, and so they are rising sky high and striking the clouds. The wind is causing a great commotion among the waves of the sea. The currents widely shaken by the wind seems to like the more of the furious war horse. The waves are casting water on the shining clusters of stars called the weir. The light of the two bright stars standing as sentries by the sides of the ever-fixed pole star is almost winged, since a terrible disturbance is created by the angry ocean has perhaps never been viewed before. इन पंक्तियों में एक भयंकर तूफान का वर्णन किया गया है जिसमें जल और थल दोनों में ही कयामत ला रखी है. कुछ देर समुद्र तट पर खड़े होकर कोई भी देख सकता है कि लहरों की तुलना तो लड़ाई के मैदान में उत्तेजित घोड़े की गर्दन के बालों से की जा सकती है. ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि लहरें तो जैसे तारों के पुंज वेयर को भी भिगोए डाल रही हैं, और जो दो तारे ध्रुव तारे के रक्षक की तरह उसके इर्द गिर्द खड़े हुए हैं, तारों की तो जैसे रोशनी ही बुझा दी है. ऐसा भयंकर तूफान तो समुद्र में शायद ही कभी दिखाई पड़ा हो. Next, he had achieved amid that of Paragon's descriptions and wild fame on that excels the quirks of blazing pens and the essential vestures of creation, thus tire the equator. Act second scene first से लिया गया है. These lines from act second scene first are spoken by Cassio when Montano asked if Othello has married. Cassio replies in the positive in the describe the beauty of Desdemona. इसकी explanation है. Cassio says that the Othello is very fortunate in having married a girl whose beautiful defies all descriptions. She over excels all the descriptions and wildest stories written page of beauty. She is even more beautiful than can be described by the inventive or expressive pencils the artist She seems to be the finest flower of nature. Nature seems to have made her in her own image. Even the most expert artist is baffled and exhausted and cannot do full justice to her. इन लाइंस में कैशियो मोंटानो से कहता है कि ओथेलो ने एक बहुत ही सुंदर लड़की से प्यार किया है। उसकी सुंदरता तो ऐसी है जैसे कि कभी परियों की कहानियों में कल्पना की जाती है, बल्कि डेस्डेमोना तो इससे भी कहीं अधिक ज़्यादा सुंदर है। बड़े से बड़े कलाकार अपनी कल्पना में जो तस्वीर खींच सकता है उससे कहीं ज़्यादा खूबसूरत है ओथेलो की पत्नी। लगता है जैसे वह प्रकृति की ही प्रतिमा या प्रतिबिंब है। कलाकार भी उसकी सुंदरता का वर्णन करने में हैरान रह जाता है। Next, you are picture out of doors, bells in your parlors, wild cats in your kitchens, saints in your injuries, devils being offend players in your housewifery and housewives in your words. ये एक्ट सेकंड सीन फर्स्ट से लिया गया है। इसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट है दीज लाइन्स हैव बीन टेकन फ्रॉम एक्ट सेकंड सीन फर्स्ट ऑफ द शेक्सपियर्स ओथेलो, वन ऑफ द 4 great tragedies play. Iago is talking to his wife Emilia. He speaks ill of womenfolk. Emilia and Desdemona blame Iago for defaming women. Explanation है इसकी The women are never to be mistaken by what they appear. They have different expressions for different occasions. When seen in public places, they are quite charming and pleasant like the pictures. And while receiving visitors in their drawing rooms, they are quite sweet, polite and thinking. Like wells, when in the kitchen, the sweetness is always missing, and instead are fierce and quarrelsome. While they inflict injury upon others, they assume a look of sanctity or innocence. The slightest provocation will make them devils. They are never serious while performing their household duties. Instead, they are very lazy and negligent, but while going to bed, they are very busy and energetic. इन लाइन्स में यागो कहता है कि स्त्रियां तो हमेशा ही अलग अलग रूपों में देखी जा सकती हैं, इनका कोई एक रूप नहीं होता। घर से बाहर ये तस्वीर जैसे सुंदर और आकर्षक लगती है। मेहमानों का स्वागत करते समय ये घंटियों की खनखनाहट जैसी मधुर लगती है। रसोई में एक जंगली बिल्ली की तरह खूंखार और झगड़ालू लगती है। दूसरे को चोट पहुँचाते समय एकदम निर्दोष बन जाती है और गुस्से में तो वह शैतान का रूप धारण कर लेती है। घर के काम में बेहद सुस्त और बिस्तर पर जाते समय अत्यंत ही उत्साही लगती हैं। It is spontaneous overflow of the powerful feelings of Othello's love. No doubt, meeting Desdemona, he has felt a very bright sunshine after the fierce storm. And he says if we can get such calmness after every storm, then let the stormy winds blow till even the dead be tossed to and from, sometimes may rise so high as to kiss the heights of heaven, and then dive so low is the hellish from heaven. He, even though a storm subsides, the contentment of his soul has reached to its full, and in moments of extreme happiness he wants to die because it is the only way in the power of the mortals to make their happiness immortal. Another happiness like this can never be in the store of mysterious fate for him. इन लाइन्स में ओथेलो अपने हृदय की खुशी को व्यक्त करते हुए कहता है कि डेस्डेमोना से मिलकर उसकी आत्मा एक तृप्त हो गई है, और यदि वह तूफान के बाद इतनी ही खुशी मिल सकती है तो आंधियाँ ऐसी तेज उठे कि कब्र से मुर्दे तक जाग जाएं, और लहरों से संघर्ष करती हुई नाव कभी आकाश से टकराए और कभी नर्क की धरातल से जा लगे, उसे कोई परवाह नहीं है। इस समय तो वह खुशी के मारे मर जाना चाहता है। इतनी खुशी शायद भाग्य उसे फिर कभी ना दे पाए। Cassio expresses a great sorrow at the loss of his reputation. Iago plans to make him drunk and engage in a quarrel with Roderigo. He succeeds in bringing Cassio to humiliation. When Othello learns about the matter through Iago, he dismisses Cassio. However, Cassio is very much ashamed at his behavior and by a fine irony mourns before Iago at the loss of his reputation. He says that reputation is an immortal part of his life and now this is lost to him forever. Now he is a beastly creature in his own eyes. Without reputation, a man is just like an animal. He is unable to move in any honorable society. इन लाइन्स में कैशियो अपने नाम पर दाग लग जाने का शौक मानता है। इतने सामान्य पद पर होते हुए भी उसने जिस प्रकार का व्यवहार किया है जैसे वह अपनी नज़रों में ही गिर गया। मानिए तो एक इंसान का सबसे बड़ा धन होता है, उसकी ज़िंदगी का एक आम हिस्सा होता है। अब जो बचा है वह तो केवल पशु समान है। Iago is successfully filling Othello's mind with the poison of jealousy and doubt. Though he has assured Othello about the secret love Cassio with Desdemona, yet he asked him not to be serious on this matter. He compared jealousy to demon lion and the wild cat that which play with its victim before making it a morsel. Jealousy itself mocks. He says that a man whose wife is not faithful to him does not care because he knows that his wife is characterless, so he does not love her.